Hey everyone, welcome back to Colorful Indian. It is such a pleasure to have you here. So we're going to be doing another Therapy Thursday today, and I am going to be talking about animals, specifically pets, and the benefits that they have in our lives. I'm doing this because I just feel like I've been missing my pets so much lately. I have lost quite a few, and just remembering the good times can be really helpful sometimes. But I also thought that, in general, just watching animals do silly things and play around, it just reminds me of the innocence and, just childhood and just happy things. So if you're interested in just hearing a few cute stories about my pets, stick around for this video. I'm obviously going to be doing a makeup look with this, and I'm going to be featuring Terra Fall Equinox collection. I want to play around with these warm tones a bit more, and along with that I'm also going to be using Terra highlighters, which came out shortly before the Fall Equinox collection. And for the matte shades, I'm going to be going in with the Citrus Punch palette by Simply Posh Cosmetics, because I think some of the tones would match those warmer shades absolutely perfectly. So if you're interested in looking at the look that I'm going to be creating today and just hearing some cute animal stories, then stick around. But before we begin, I want to let you know about me. My name is RANITA. I started this channel in 2020, and it's evolved. It's been, about so many different things, but it was mostly makeup. So we're doing makeup, swatches, reviews, mental health, lifestyle. I do so many different things on the channel. So if you're interested in any of those things, then stick around. And if you like the video, obviously subscribe. You're free to go and check out other playlists and everything else, because I tend to categorize all of my videos. So if you want to find something specific, then you can do so easily. So without further ado, let's get into creating this look. I'm pretty excited, and I'll be telling you the stories as I create my makeup look. So yeah, let's begin. Animal therapy is something that has kind of been on my mind for a long time. It's actually something that I want to get into professionally at some point. I have always loved animals, and I've always been someone who just loved rescuing animals and spending a lot of time with them. To me, animals are family members, and I know that I've had a lot of really nice conversations with people in the community as well as with family members and friends about just all the crazy things that our pets do. And I loved the subject so much that I actually researched this for my thesis when I was doing my master's. The whole thing was about animal therapy, and well, a branch of it anyway, and just the way that our pets impact our lives and, just help us with so many different things. And I found out so many lovely stories from so many different people, got to meet so many different people because of this, and it was just so much fun. So I'm going to start with probably my favorite one. Don't tell the others that I have a favorite. But it's so hard to think about this without actually thinking, yeah, I kind of do have a favorite. So the first one that I ever got was actually a rescue. And this cat has the most amazing personality. Like, I think it's really the personality of an animal that makes you enjoy them so much. It's the same way that you would actually talk to a person and connect with them, and it's definitely the same way when it comes to animals. So this first one was ended up being called Tigger. And, he was called Tigger because he loved jumping as a kitten. Oh my goodness, the number of times that he would just jump into places that were dangerous, and then I had to go and get him from those places, and I would be terrified that I may just die myself. But, this cat, he's practically human. And I just absolutely love spending time with him. So, this was the kind of cat that spent every waking moment with you. And I remember when he was quite young and he didn't really understand everything just yet, I went for a shower. That was this one day I had done that, and he followed me because, he would follow me everywhere. So we get into the shower and I start the water, and I turn the shower on, and he's just watching me from this shelf, and he screams. It sounds like he's just horrified that I'm putting water on myself, and I actually had to stop showering and just explain to him, like, no, I'm okay, and this is okay, and this is what humans do. And I know I sound crazy doing that, but I honestly believe that he understood 100%, because after that he calmed down and he started having baths, like as in he would sit there and he would lick himself while I was having my bath, and he kind of understood that this is the time we clean ourselves. I mean, not that he wasn't cleaning himself like at other times, but he knew specifically that when I was coming in here, it meant it was time to have like that full on, shower bath thing. And it was just, it was just so cute. So that's just one story. I have hundreds actually of this cat, but he was such a sweetheart. So he actually was, you know, from a shelter, and he grew up with a lot of other cats. So he's been very accepting of, you know, other animals that I have brought in. And I do rescue, so I love rescuing animals. It's one of my biggest things, and I cannot wait to just settle down, get our own place. Right now we're in the process of all these things, and I know that God's got it in his hands. He knows what we need and what we want, and you know, it's become less stressful just knowing that God knows. Like, I honestly really want to rescue animals, because I think coming to the US I realized, especially after getting Lupa, so Lupa is, you know, that dog that you probably would have seen me posting a lot about on Instagram. She passed very tragically this year in May, and it was heartbreaking, because she passed like a couple of days before my grandmother had actually passed away 2 years before that. So it became such a painful period, because, you know, I was going through so much, and then to lose like that one source of comfort and love and everything, oh my goodness, it was so painful. I still can't really go on hikes, because we used to do hikes with Lupa all the time. This dog was crazy, like, but she was so smart. She loved riding in cars. So, you know, we also got her from a shelter, and I think that whoever had her before that had trained her to know that, you know, the car is safe, and, you know, she loved riding in the car. So even when we went to the dump to get rid of like all the rubbish, she'd want to come along with us. And she was very friendly with other dogs. She was a mixture, and a lot of people were telling me that she could possibly be a wolf dog. We never actually had any of this tested out, but it was just interesting to think of it, because she kind of did look like a wolf. Like, we went and I was looking at some pictures on Facebook and everything, and I saw some dogs that looked exactly like her, and I was like, oh my goodness, like everything from the, you know, the black tip tail to the markings to the coloration, everything just looked like a wolf dog. And I was just thinking how much I miss her. And she had this, you know, she was part German Shepherd without a doubt, because she would do that cute thing where she'd tilt her head to the side, and it was just the most adorable thing. I just loved sneaking up on her, because she would always be outside and I'd sneak up on her, and then she'd kind of look at me quizzically like, what are you doing, you know? But it was just so sweet. So she would come on hikes with us, and I really miss her actually, because yeah, like I said, I haven't really been able, like, we tried going on hikes after she passed away. I think we did it twice, and then I realized that I can't really do this, because it's just so painful going there. You see everyone else with their dogs, and you're just thinking, oh, like, this is what Lupa would do. And yeah, it was just really, really sad to lose her. And, you know, she had so many quirks, so many interesting parts of her personality that, you know, was slowly coming out the more we spend time with her. And I think that's because, you know, the more you trust someone, the more you become. And I think it's the same thing with humans, right? The more comfortable you are with them, like, after a while, you're just yourself, and you just can express yourself comfortably without having to worry about all these things that you normally would have worried about, like, way in the beginning, which is why you should usually take about 2 years just getting to know someone, because usually their full character comes out after about 2 years. And people can change as well, right? So it's so, like, yeah. So it's the same thing, I think, with animals, but Lupa really came out, and, you know, she was just so friendly, so sweet. Initially, when she came, she was very, very, I think, aggressive, and trying to establish her dominance with one of the other dogs that we had, which was an older black lab, and she did bite him, like, very badly, but, you know, she kind of calmed down, because we established our dominance as the alphas, and then, you know, she kind of understood that, and then she became so sweet and so mellow, such a kind, wonderful dog. It was just lovely having her, and she loved running, you know, through all the fields and everything, because there's like acres and acres of land here, so she was able to do all those things. She was very protective of me and my husband as well, which I was really touched by, actually, because I felt like, you know, like, if someone was actually a threatening presence, or if I felt like this person was not a good person, because we do have some Karens living nearby us, she would really get into full, like, protective mode. I mean, not that she did anything, because she wasn't a dog that would go and bite other people or anything like that, but she would kind of bark and be like, hey, you know, these are my humans, leave them alone, which was, I don't know, I think it's really touching, because I think that was one of the first times I realized that this dog really cares, you know, about us, and she really cares about the family. So she was a really wonderful, sweet dog, and she used to poop in circles, which was hilarious to watch. It was just weird. Like, I've never seen any animal do this. She would take a poop and literally just make a circle with poops all around her, and I'd be like, what on earth is this dog doing? It's so ridiculous, but she would do that. And she loved toys. She just, yeah, we would get her toys, and she would love to just play with them, bite them, you know, yeah, typical dog stuff, I guess. And it was just hilarious because we taught her how to, you know, sit on a swing. So she started thinking that park benches were also something to sit on. So if I sat down, then she would be jumping on the seat to sit there with me. And then, you know, it was getting confusing because, yeah, that was probably our fault for putting her on the swing with us. But I mean, it was also really touching because there was so many moments where I would finish a workout, she'd be there outside, and, you know, she'd just follow me around throughout the whole workout. And then because I'd be sitting on the swing, she'd jump up and join me. And I do have photos of that as well. So yeah, you know, just I don't know, I miss her. I miss her personality. And, you know, animals are known to bring about so many benefits, right? Like, because I even studied this. I mean, it's true. You know, Lupa was very encouraging when it came to actually getting fit. And she would literally jump into the car if we hadn't taken her out for her walk after a long period of time. Because I remember there was this one period where for about 2 weeks we hadn't taken her out. And usually it was like an every day, no, not every day, like it was a weekly thing. And we would also take her out maybe twice or thrice sometimes during the week, depending on availability and, you know, our schedules and everything. But there was this one period where we were just so busy, we didn't have time to do it. And she jumped in and she was just kind of looking at us like, you know, you guys really need to take me out because this is just too long not going out for like my walks. And this is a dog that had like acres to run around in. So it was just the fact that she wanted to spend time with us. And it was so cute that she always would want to look out the window. I mean, I've seen other dogs do this too, but it was just really sweet. And then after the hike, she would just be exhausted, you know, like she wouldn't be the hyper version of herself. She would just be so tired, completely tuckered out, and she would be sleeping on the back, and we would usually cover that with, you know, a towel and everything so that her muddy paws wouldn't get in the way. And she loved water. It was absolutely strange. Like, she would put her paws in the water, and that's how she would drink her water. It was kind of, yeah, like just so many different quirks to this dog. And, you know, it's just kind of sad that, you know, she had to go so soon. So yeah, I wanted to talk about animals mostly because I was thinking about her so much this week. Because the truth is, there's a window right in front of me, even right now, and that's the window that I would look out and I would see her there, and I would just watch her being, you know, her naughty self. She loved chasing rabbits and thankfully never got any, because even if I saw rabbits, I'd be like, go away, like get out of here, like we don't want something happening to you. But yeah, there was even a time when this, you know, girl went and she dragged a huge deer carcass from God knows where, and you know, this was on Thanksgiving Day. I remember waking up thinking, yeah, I want to make this yummy, comforting dog stew for her and for Charlie, that's the black lab. And you know, you look out the window and what do you see? You see this deer carcass and the rib cage and everything, and I was like, wow. But I mean, I wasn't unhappy about it because I actually don't think feeding kibble is the best thing. Like, we have gotten all our cats off kibble, and we actually feed them like raw food and everything because that's actually way, way, way healthier. No matter what any pet company says about food like this, it's just, I don't really believe in giving kibble anymore. Like, maybe in small quantities, kind of like a treat or something, but definitely not as the main food. So our cats have actually gotten a lot healthier in terms of fur quality, you know, the softness of the fur and everything. But that brings me to the, you know, some of the other cats that we have. Let me go for the ones that have the most personality. So I think I'm going to talk about Boo. So Boo's actually the 8th cat that we actually picked up, and also a rescue. I found her when she was like this big. She could fit in, like, I think she was just like this big actually. Not even the full size of my palm. She was so small, her eyes were closed. Someone had actually separated her from her mom, and you know, she was just in a box, and we walked by this box like so many times until I just couldn't take it anymore because I thought someone would rescue her. We already had so many, so I was kind of hoping and praying someone would, and nobody was. Eventually I ended up picking her up because I just couldn't take it, and she was screaming. We didn't have kitten milk, so the whole day the poor thing was kind of like hungry, and we were trying to give her other things. and thankfully she, you know, ate those things and nothing happened. I mean, not that it was harmful, we were just not sure as a kitten whether she'd be able to process it very well. But yeah, she was fine, and then we got the kitten milk, fed her. You know, I even got like a heating pad because at that time I was in college and we needed to make sure that she was warm all the time, and usually kittens at that age, they can't actually create their own body heat. So yeah, we had to do all these extra things, and she was fine. She survived. She was a total fighter, and I thought she was going to be a completely black cat, and I was so excited because I was like, yes, like finally, like we've never had a, you know, completely black cat, and I'm pretty excited about this. But it turns out that Boo was in fact a tortoise shell, and she does have tortitude. She's absolutely adorable actually, and she loves men. She absolutely loves men. I don't know why, because like she literally loves to just be around men. If she knows that you're a man, she's going to come and just roll all over the place. And you know, she doesn't do that with us. I mean, sometimes she'll do that with us, but it's just a different kind of affection when she's around men. And it's funny. It's really funny to watch because you can see that she's like, look at me, I'm cute and I'm adorable, and she's just rolling and flopping and just being so cute. So she really loves my dad, and it's actually pretty funny because she can't jump from high places to the ground, but she likes being on the top. So, you know, every morning it's kind of like she'll meow and meow and meow for my dad to actually take her from one cupboard to the next, and she uses his shoulders to get around. And then when she's ready to come down, she will, you know, meow orders, and whoever's in the vicinity comes, and, you know, she'll come and sit on your shoulders. And she's not very happy with mine because apparently they're not good enough, they're not big enough for her. So she would get so annoyed whenever I would show up, and then she'd be looking at me like, you called this like, you know, a transport? Your shoulders are way too small. She literally had this look of disgust on her face because I guess I was just not, you know, suitable for her. It was better to have larger shoulders if you were going to carry her around, but it was just so funny. Another cat that I want to talk about is Dustie. Dustie passed away in 2018. She was also a total complete sweetheart. A beautiful cat, honestly, and normal. Again, you know, it's always the personality that matters more to me. I think there are some people who only want breeds, and, you know, they don't realize that sometimes they're not actually compatible with the breed and the personality traits that come along with the breed. And that's why I've been seeing hundreds and hundreds, like I'm in husky rescues on Facebook, and I just see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of huskies that are just dumped, given away, because they are high maintenance dogs, in the sense that, you know, they have so much attention, they have so much energy, they need you to kind of always be paying attention to them. Like Lupa had some separation anxiety initially, which was really hard even for me to watch, because I would be like, yeah, I don't really want to leave you, like I feel so bad, because you can't explain to them like, hey, I'm just, you know, nearby, it's not that I'm abandoning you. So it was very tough initially because I don't really like seeing any animals suffering. Like I can't deal with any of that. So it's just very tough. So, you know, when you see other animals being just let go and all that kind of thing, and for the dumbest reasons, sometimes, you know, people are just like, oh yeah, you know, I can't keep them because of XYZ, and I get so frustrated because it's just so sad. You know, these are creatures, these are animals, they also have feelings. I get so upset when an animal especially has literally lived in your family for like 10 years, 12 years, and that's the time you decide that you don't want them anymore, and you decide, oh, okay, like it's too much of a trouble, so I need to give them away. It's heartbreaking. It really, really is. And I think it's just terrible because when you do that, you're just getting, and like the animal is losing its home, and it's also kind of just like it can feel that it's being abandoned. You know, that's why when you go onto like the dodo and stuff, and you see all those films of animals just being abandoned, and when just the way that they change after they've been adopted again, it's just crazy, right? Because you can see they obviously have feelings. So it's very hard for me to actually watch people not look after animals well or make excuses about stuff like this. Of course, everyone's situation is different, and I understand if you're really going through something absolutely difficult and tough and there's absolutely no other option, I understand. But honestly, senior animals, that's just so tough. And that's why, like, I think if we ever adopt again, probably I'm probably going to go for senior animals, because, you know, not everybody takes them in. And, you know, even these animals that are usually left behind in shelters and stuff, I think I'm interested in those. Definitely interested in taking in huskies as well, because, you know, these are always the breeds that are being abandoned, and it's just so sad because it's just dumb reasons, like, oh, they're chewing things around the house. It's like people take them in, expect them to be really, really easy with no training, and then just get rid of them, and it's just heartbreaking. So if you adopt an animal, I would say please get one from, you know, a shelter or a pound. Honestly, they're the ones who need help. They really, really do. It's not the breeds, you know, like, I mean, I can't even say it's not even, so I can't say that it's not the breeds that don't need help, because I just said that a lot of huskies are actually being abandoned. But I'm just saying that it's better to actually get animals from a shelter or a rescue, because a lot of the times they just get put down because nobody's showing up for them, and it's just so sad and disheartening. But anyway, last story, this is about Dustie. So Dustie, she was really, she had so much personality, and it's actually kind of funny to see how her personality changed. So when she was a kitten, she hated being touched. Like, she just did not like being touched. It was just like, ew, get off me, do not touch me. And this was even though we were handling like the other kittens and everything. So it was actually pretty funny when, you know, she had to get spayed, and then they put the cone around her, and I imagine it must have been quite itchy and quite awful for her to wear the cone. So the poor thing, like, you know, we started like giving her scratches, like, you know, right where the cone was, and she ended up really loving the scratches. Like, she absolutely loved getting petted after that. So when we took the cone off, it was not even like, don't touch me, it was like, I demand that you pet me at this time. And she would come, and she would just, she had this very itchy, scratchy meow, and she'd be like, meow, meow, like that. And, you know, she'd just show up and she'd be like, you have to pet me right now. And she had a lot of moxie. So I just thought it was really, really sweet, because she wouldn't let any of the other cats like bully her or anything like that. She was a very tough cat, but she was also very, very sweet. And I think my favorite memory of her is every day after lunch, after she had finished her lunch, she would actually come up to me, scream at me, lead me to the catnip plant, which was, you know, at a different side of the house. And she would make me take a leaf and then go back, lead me back into the house where there was this cat scratching post, so I could stick the leaf there, and then she would roll all over that and just, you know, unwind and relax. And after that, she wouldn't need me, and it was just so funny. So yeah, so many good memories of pets. I could actually talk about my pets all day long, because there's just so many memories. There really, really are. And there are pictures usually to follow up with all of those stories. Because I remember Boo as well. Like, one of my favorite stories of her was just when I went around searching for her. And she's a cat that, I told you, she likes being on the top. She likes being in high places. So she had reached the top, and she was sleeping on a suitcase one day. And I went to find her. I was screaming for her. I was like, where the heck are you? You know, it's time to eat. And she wakes up, and because she's been sleeping like on one side of her face, like this side when she woke up was completely flat, and this other side was poofy, and she was furious. She just looked so she just looked so mad at me, and I just burst out laughing, and she looked even angrier. It was just hilarious, because honestly, animals have expressions, and when you get to know them, you really can see what's going on in their heads. At least I like to think that. So it was just absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I hope that these stories cheered you up, because I don't think I have any more to share. But, you know, for me, animals are definitely one of my biggest joys. I love having animals with me. I love doing things with my pets, spending time with them. They're family members, and they're very special. So I know that some people aside from me have also lost their pets this year, and it's just so sad. It's tough to get used to actually not having any kind of loved one, you know, with you once they've passed. And yeah, grief is definitely a process, but it's also good to remember all the good times, and that's why I thought I would share all these stories. So I hope that you had fun listening to some of these stories, and you know, my heart goes out to you if you did lose a loved one this year. I just hope that, you know, you can heal from that. And it takes time. It's not a fast process, but that's okay. Hey everyone, this is the finished look, and I hope that you had fun listening to a few short stories of, you know, my pets, and I'm sure that you have some really lovely stories to share as well, and I'd love to hear them. So if you want to let me know, feel free to comment below, and if you want any more of those makeup details, then let me know as well. But I do believe that I covered practically everything. So before we go, if you want to pick up anything from Simply Posh, and they do have new releases that will be coming out in November, December, so my code is RANITA, and it will get you 10% off. It is an affiliate code. If you'd like to pick up the Woosh Beauty palette, I also have a code for that, and it should be showing on the screen. This is also an affiliate code. I really do love my Woosh Beauty palette because I feel like it's just so versatile. It's so easy, especially if you just want, you know, to take minimal makeup with you when you're traveling for a short period of time. This really just has so many different things in there. It's got blushers, it's got contours, it's got, you know, blenders, it's got eyeshadow, everything. Whatever it is that you want, it's in there. It even has foundation. So if you want an easy way of actually doing your makeup, the Woosh Beauty palette is absolutely fantastic. And last but not least, Terra Moons. Yeah, they do have their pre-orders and they're still open. They're going to be open until the 3rd of November. This is the shade Astral Projection on my eyes, and the shade that I used from my highlighter was Amalthea. Oh my goodness, these shades are, they're so incredible. I feel like Terra Moons is a whole new part of just enjoying makeup and loving it with a passion. I'm so happy about the way that this look turned out, and that's all I have to say about, you know, everything for this video. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I will join you for another Therapy Thursday, and I'm sending lots of love to you. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I know that things have been very tough in the world lately, and something that's been helping me has just been praying daily, staying really close to God. I have been praying and praying and praying because it is so overwhelming and it's difficult and painful to see everything that's happening. So if you have been feeling the same way, just know that you're not alone in feeling this way. I think a lot of us are really feeling that way. It's just heartbreaking and it's so hard to see all of this. And yeah, I just want to offer some encouragement and hope that you're not alone. So anyway, I will see you soon for another Therapy Thursday, and you know, have a lovely week. And until then, be safe and remember to look after your mental health. Bye.